Bitcoin has just printed a bullish divergence, but at the same time it looks to be like we are falling down below support. The stock market again is pushing to new all-time highs while Bitcoin is falling behind. Not many people at all are aware of this fact, but last time around right here this has also happened and Bitcoin catched up very significantly right after this happened. So is September still going to be a very bearish month? Because literally everyone is expecting September to go down. Well, we need to be talking about this, but first of all, having a look in towards the imminent short term, we are currently trading inside of a weekend. And most of you guys already know the drill by now, but usually around during the weekends, we are just going to be consolidating at around our CME close price, which in this case was about the 25.7k level. So volatility is expected to be lower and just consolidation around this level is going to be expected. Now, of course, because the charts are active once again and we are seeing quite some volatility right here happened, well, we could be expecting a little bit more volatility during this weekend. And if we were to be creating some kind of a massive move, well, then we are going to be creating a CME gap. And in that case, well, beginning next week, most likely we are once again going to be returning towards this 25.7k level to be filling up the CME gap. So this is going to be pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Now, another thing is that we are currently seeing a Bitcoin bullish divergence on the daily time frame being formed. Now, in my opinion, I'm not going to be trading this bullish divergence. I have been saying for a very long while already that I want to be seeing a daily bullish divergence to be seen getting formed, and then I am willing to be opening up my long positions. Alright, but in my opinion, I do not like how this daily bullish divergence is being formed. What I wanted to be seeing is this liquidity wick towards the downside getting filled with more downwards price action, hitting this support level, then bouncing off towards the upside and creating our bullish divergence. Now, we are not seeing that also on the daily time frame. I do not like this support level right here being formed on the RSI. So what I'm going to be waiting for is maybe a double bullish divergence to be getting formed, at least a bullish divergence at about this support level. I want to see this liquidity down here being taken. I want to be seeing a long liquidation squeeze. Now, of course, it is already getting a bit more technical right here, but that does not mean that because we are not seeing these requirements for me opening my Bitcoin trade, that I do not think we can be seeing any more upside. Alright, yes indeed, these charts and also in the longer term are actually looking very bullish. I'm going over it in just a second right here. It is looking very good, but in my opinion, I'm just not seeing the requirements right here for the best possible odds in my favor to be opening up my long position just yet. Okay, now Bitcoin is hitting some major support levels where definitely I do think these support levels right here are going to be getting held. Now right here, you might argue that we are falling down below, but you can also just readjust it quite a bit right here, filling up these wicks towards the downside. And in this case, well, we are still very beautifully holding our support level. Now the trend, of course, in the shorter term is still definitely bearish. That's also the reason why we flipped bearish right here. That's also the reason why we actually flipped bullish right here and are flipping bullish right now once again at these points. But technically speaking, well, the downtrend is still intact, but also on the larger term time frames, well, a very significant uptrend is still here. So in my opinion, the longer term trend is still looking very good right here. Well, yes, of course, if we are going to be losing this support level right here, then of course we are going to be seeing more downside being created, but that is not happening just right now. So on the larger term trend, I remain to be bullish. Now, is history about to repeat right here? We are seeing many charts that we are actually looking very good. We are having very strong support levels and we are about to blast off towards the upside. Now, is something like this really going to be happening? Well, in my opinion, I do not really think so. Do need to see the Bitcoin halving taking place before we really are going to be seeing these parabolic stages being created. But definitely we can say that the charts are looking looking pretty good at these levels. The stock market is also coiling up on the daily time frame, about to go for another all-time high, about to create new highs. In my opinion, we have just seen a retracement, just like we have seen over here. We have just seen it over here, and we are about to curve up towards the upside, just like we did over here. Right now, we are about to do it again. And in that scenario, of course, you could be seeing that previously around, whenever the stock market was moving towards the upside very massively, while the Bitcoin market was actually lagging behind, while Bitcoin out of nowhere just shot towards the upside and catched up massively with the stock market. So I do think potentially we can be seeing something similar being created. Now, other than that, well, September has started, of course, and historically speaking, September has been a very bearish month. Now, because historically speaking, this has been a very bearish month, everyone on Twitter, or now X, is basically thinking that Bitcoin will go down during September. And because literally everyone is thinking the same exact thing, well, usually around the majority is wrong in the market. So if everyone is literally thinking that September will once again be a bearish month, well, maybe this month we are actually going to be having a bullish month. Okay, now really, we are not going to be trading based off this. Statistically speaking, of course, it has been a bearish month, so do keep that in mind. But this definitely is a pretty fun fact. Now, another very important thing is, of course, with this BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF, well, we of course do know if it is going to be accepted, we will be seeing a massive green candle towards the upside. Not like this, of course. This is a bit too dramatic, of course. It's not really going to be as big as this, but definitely it is going to be having a pretty big effect on the market. And of course, everyone is kind of expecting that the BlackRock and all other spot Bitcoin ETFs are going to be getting delayed up until the final deadline, which is going to be next year in March. But probably, yeah, if you have a look in towards this actual chart, well, you can be having a look in towards it, and with some common knowledge and some critical thinking, you can already see that probably the ETF will already be accepted during the second or the third deadline. Because, well, just like I highlighted in this tweet right here, BlackRock wants to be the first one with the spot Bitcoin ETF, because that will be profiting them the most with the trading fees, of course, that will be going towards them. And of course, we do know, well, there are some conspiracy theories that BlackRock is well connected with the government, with the SEC, etc, etc. But with that kept in mind, if BlackRock is really going to be the first one, well, we also do know that the ARK application, their final deadline, is going to be the 10th of January next year. So probably before that already, we are going to be getting and seeing our decision being made, and already seeing that ETFs are going to be accepted. So guys, that will be very important to keep in mind. Another thing is that probably the acceptance will not be happening a day before the second, third, or final deadline, but it will be happening at a random day where nobody is expecting it. So yeah, stay on high alert. Make sure to read these tweets and threads right here, because they are very informative. And also make sure to be following me on Twitter to stay up to date about every single market development. And guys, with that being said, I'll see you in another update video tomorrow morning.